Hey guys, it's Sam Gold from FieldGoals.com. In this breakdown, I want to take a closer look at Kirk Cousins' Thanksgiving performance and the Redskins' loss to the Dallas Cowboys. In this game, Cousins passed 53 times, completing 41 of those passes for 449 yards and 3 touchdowns. To start the game, the Redskins run a curl flat combo. This is a very common quick passing play, isolating the sideline zone defender. Wherever he is, you make a lateral read, throwing it to the open receiver. Cousins has perfected these quick passing plays in this offense, and with the variety of weapons the Redskins have on their offense, it makes it very easy to gain yards. Later in the first drive, the Redskins run another one of their favorite plays, and that's the play-action bootleg. This is a 3-level read, with Garcon going deep, Deshaun Jackson crossing the mid-level, while Vernon Davis sits in the flat. The misdirection fools Tyrone Crawford, just enough where he loses contain on Cousins. On the run, Cousins reads that Garcon is covered well, and then finds Jackson for a 19-yard gain. The pass is spot on to his wide receiver. For Deshaun Jackson, this was his first 100-yard game since Week 1 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Most of his yards came on a 67-yard touchdown pass in the middle of the fourth quarter. The Cowboys are in cover 3, while the Redskins run a form of the drive concept involving a high-low read over the middle of the field. If you notice the alignment of Jamison Crowder and Jordan Reed, they are feeding off of each other, creating space for each other in the slot. Ironically, Jackson's fade is essentially clearing out of the sideline. This pass is rarely thrown. But since Jackson's quickness and simply Anthony Brown's losing the speedy receiver in coverage, which is why this play is turned into a deep bomb for a long score. Later in the first quarter, the Redskins ran a switch vertical concept on the left side of the field. The Cowboys cover 1 defense defends it well. However, since slot receiver Jamison Crowder is such a mismatch, he gets open on his deep crossing route. Cousins places the pass in stride right as he's about to get hit low by Ryan Davis. For this play, I'd really like to see Cousins step up into the pocket more and be more aware of Nsekhe being beat. But honestly, it's hard to be too critical when the pass is on point. Midway through the second quarter, the Cowboys drop 8 into coverage and attempt to fluster Cousins into a poor decision. This was the exact tactic the Steelers used in Week 1 to great effect, but since Cousins worked on the issue, he was able to remain calm during the game and he found Garcon for a 27-yard completion. It definitely helps to have such a plethora of weapons, and I haven't even spoken about Jordan Reed yet. He is still the matchup nightmare he was last year. At the start of the second quarter, Reed actually separated his shoulder, but came back from injury to catch 10 passes for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. So fast forward to late in the third quarter, where Byron Jones was actually called for a defensive pass interference penalty on Reed, but since Reed was able to stretch out, he caught his deep fade route. This is another great downfield throw by Cousins, but also a great play by Reed to stretch out and make the play. The Cousins-Reed connection is so strong in fact, that Cousins trusted Reed to catch the fourth quarter touchdown at the 2-minute warning to keep the Redskins in the game. Reed beats his zone defender with a well-run dig route inside for the ball that's thrown high. He jumps, catches the ball, and brings it in for the score. Now Cousins' day was not perfect. Here's an example of where Cousins forced the pass to Jackson on a post route while he's covered well by 2 Cowboys defenders. The play design is off play action, where Cousins has the post and a deep over to stretch the field. The post is meant to clear space for the over route, where Cousins has space to slip Davis the ball. Instead, he unleashes the dragon. He throws the pass deep to a double cover receiver, where Deshaun Jackson loses the ball in the sun due to a shittily designed football stadium. Even if Cousins for some reason didn't want to pass the ball to his tight end, he has Robert Kelly in the flat for a 5+ yard gain. Either way, I don't like the decision to go deep here when there are other options available. Another issue that persisted with the Redskins was their inability to score touchdowns in the red zone. All 4 of their first half drives, even the ones that brought them to the 6-yard line, ended in a field goal attempt. While Hopkins missed 2 of these kicks, which is inexcusable, the Redskins offense has to score touchdowns if they want to keep up with teams like Dallas. Scoring would also help alleviate their defense, who was torn apart by Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott with significantly less time of possession. Take this touchdown attempt here at the start of the second quarter. Cousins does a great job avoiding the pressure from the right side, but he misfires throwing the pass over the head of his receivers. I get that it's better to go high than low here and risk the interception, but the Skins needed a touchdown. Play calling and the lack of run game were the other reasons why the Redskins couldn't score in the first half. Speaking of the run game, after the Redskins gained 151 yards on the ground versus the Packers, the Cowboys defense generally did a good job in run defense, holding Robert Kelly to 37 yards on 14 carries. Looking at the season as a whole, if you were to extrapolate Kirk's 2016 stats to a full 16-game schedule, he finishes the year with over 5,100 passing yards. This would also mean he would score 29 touchdowns and throw just 10 interceptions. Comparing this to his 2015 campaign, he has roughly 1,000 more passing yards with the same number of passing touchdowns and one less interception, and he would do this all with just 90 more passing attempts. These are incredible stats, and even though he doesn't have the touchdown total of the likes of Drew Brees or Tom Brady, he operates very effectively in the Redskins offense. He does exactly what Sean McVay and Jay Gruden expect of him, and he does it really well. Really, the Redskins would be stupid not to sign him to a long-term deal, or at the very least franchise tag him for another season. Well, we are now 12 weeks in the season, so what's the holdup? As of right now, a deal can't be done due to the fact that all contract negotiations are prohibited since he's on the franchise tag. The Redskins will just have to wait until the offseason to lock him up. In terms of contracts, Cousins has all the cards right now. Expect him to get paid as a top 5 quarterback, as he has proven his worth and he simply deserves it. If the Redskins can get some defensive line talent outside of Chris Baker and their edge rushers, they have a legitimate shot of making the playoffs from here on out with Kirk Cousins at the helm. Let's hope Scott McCloughan can draft some talent in this year's draft. Well, that's all I have for you. Follow me on Twitter at SamuraiGold. If you want more analysis of your favorite players, come to fieldgoals.com for our latest articles.